Hello. Well, I think we're live. Good evening. It's Wednesday night. It's just coming up for 8 o'clock and it's time for another Talk Fishing live stream. As you can see, things are a bit different. I'm looking over there, but the camera's over here, and here's the microphone. And I've got a studio set up over here, so everything's a bit mad. Let's see if we can move it around. Carp Jack at Instagram. Evening, mate. Good to see you on here. I hope you like the new setup. It should be a lot clearer now. It's not going to sound like I'm in a big heavy room or anything like that. Big empty room, and hopefully the quality will be a little bit better as well. So fingers crossed this live stream will stay on and not disappear on me. So far so good anyway. And I can also, because I've got streaming software, I can bring pictures in off the hard drive on my computer, which is quite handy, isn't it? I can open up another scene on the screen and add in pictures and stuff like that. So whereas on the old webcam I could never show you anything. Yeah, OBS, Carp Jacker, yeah, that's exactly right. OBS. I must keep remembering to look this way. And I've got the microphone's a Yeti studio mic, which I've had for ages. I use it for dubbing over videos if I've got to do a commentary or anything like that. So I've had this Yeti microphone for about 2 years, but I'm going to use it for the live streams as well now, and hopefully it'll be all right. I'll leave it in the picture. The camera's on a gorilla pod, so I can go pick the camera up and move it around and stuff like that. And it should be a lot more flexible, and hopefully it'll be okay. I'm not monitoring the output from the stream, but I did try it last night. I was testing it last night and it seemed to be okay, so I'll just go with it. Obviously you can all hear me, so I'll just carry on. I've got a little monitor on here telling me that the stream health is excellent, so if it goes a bit squiffy, I'll see it. But hopefully it'll be all right. So Gary B, evening mate. The new mic, yeah. It's a bit different, isn't it? I'm not on my old computer. I've got two screens next to each other like this. I'm not on that one anymore. I'm on this one. So I'm kind of I'm going to be like this all night probably. But hopefully new mic, mate, and I'm in HD now as well. 30 frames per second HD. I bought a video capture card. I don't think I can show you it. No, I can't, no. Not without pulling wires out everywhere. There's wires scattered all over the place, so I'll have to tidy it up. And I might try and get a green screen in behind me, because you can put a green screen in and then chop yourself down and superimpose yourself on a picture or something like that. There's all kinds of stupid things you can do with this OBS software. You can get them looking really professional. I'll work on that in the coming weeks. I'll start adding bells and whistles to it and stuff like that. But hopefully it'll be all right. Evening, Stephen. I'm having to look sideways to see what everybody's saying, by the way, because of the way everything's set up. I can't just look at the camera and look at the screen and just looking at the camera. It's a different direction now, so I'm going to be all over the place a bit, I think. But I've got to say, it's looking all right. Bit like a podcast, innit? Stephen, it's my fishing blog. Evening, mate. Good to see you again. Andy Clark, yeah. Mark Carp in HD. It's all right. I've got to say, the streaming software is fantastic, especially considering it's open source. It's absolutely brilliant. Some of the things you can do with it are unreal. There's loads of YouTube videos on it, on how to get the best out of it, and I've been watching some of them, like, and it's pretty good. So I can actually add in scenes and sources and stuff like that, and I can overlay pictures into the live stream and stuff like that. So if we start chatting about something and I've got a picture on my hard drive, I can call it up and show it to you, which is quite handy. So we'll see how that goes anyway. Is everybody all right? Anybody actually been fishing? While you're answering that, I'll tell you what happened to me on on Saturday. You know when you have one, you get some of those days when they're just an absolute disaster, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong. I had one of those days. The lake was closed until 12 o'clock anyway, for some work that needed doing on it. So I rolled up at 11:45, thinking nobody in the right mind's going to come now, because it's an afternoon bite period on this lake. Like, you'd only need to be there for like midday till 3:30, 4 o'clock is all you need to get a bite. And if you can drop on them and you know your spots, you can usually pick one off. So I thought, nobody in the right mind is going to turn up, today, Saturday, knowing that there's a work party half day, like, they won't come. I was wrong. There was someone in front of me. So, he let me through the gate first, but I obviously, because he was there first, I had to give him first choice of peg. It's, the gentlemanly thing to do, like, so I let him choose. And I had 2 swims in mind for myself, and he parked himself in between both of them, because they were like next door but one to each other, like, but covering reasonably the same area, and he parked himself in the middle one. Now, it's only a small water, and I don't like going either side of someone, so basically he took out both of my choices of swim in one go. So I ended up going round the other side, and I tried around there. About half an hour after set up, it started chucking it down and never stopped. And when it did finally stick me head out of my brolly, from under my brolly, it was 4:45, and the lad who'd chosen that swim had long gone. He'd cleared off. There was nobody around anywhere, like, so I looked at the empty swims and I thought, oh God, it's just one of those days, isn't it? So I didn't get anywhere near the fish. I got soaked packing up. I managed to hide under the brolly from it for most of the day, like, but when I took the brolly down, between gathering my gear, winding my rods in, and getting back to the car, I looked like a drowned rat. It was that heavy. So basically I just wasted 4 hours. I'd have been better off just staying at home, to be quite honest. Like, I knocked off at 4:45, got home about 4:45, and I looked at my watch, and I looked at me comfy seat in here where I'm sitting, and I thought, do you know what, I should have just stayed home. So that was my weekend. As much as I'd like to tell you that I got a run and I caught a fish and all the rest of it, didn't get bugger all, except a bloody good soaking. So that was me anyway, my weekend. Let's have a look where we are now. I think I need to do a bit of work on this, maybe split the screens on my computer or something, because there's things I can't see. And I'm not happy about. Can't see how many people's in the stream unless I move my screen, and I can't see anything really. There we go. So yeah, now you know about my weekend. Tell me about yours. There's 5 on. I can see 5 on the screen. So that's Carp, Jacker, Gary, Stephen, Andy, and one other, which isn't me, because my other computer is not watching it, and because I'm live streaming, I'm not gonna take up my bandwidth, so the stream will stay healthy. Turn my hand to sea fishing, Stephen. Staying with the folks by the coast, always found it mega difficult, but actually caught on a super mild Friday the 13th. Nice one, mate. What did you catch? You might see me doing a bit of sea fishing. One of my mates is doing some at the moment. Because I don't know if you know, Stephen, I live on the Wirral Peninsula up by Liverpool. You know, that little piece of land that juts out between Liverpool and Wales. So I've got the Mersey on one side, which is out of my front window, the River Dee on the other side, and up around New Brighton like is actually out in the North Sea. And one of my mates has been doing a bit of sea fishing like, and he knows the marks quite well like, because he's done it for years. And he said when he gets sorted out he'll lend me a rod and I can give it a try. Whiting and your brother-in-law caught a sea bass. Right, okay. Well, my mate's had a couple of cod of around £3. I think he said £3 was his biggest. He's had a ray. I can't remember what kind. But you know, he's had one of them. He's had like flatfish, cod, rays, and smooth hound off the river, off the Mersey. So he did say he'll take us. Like he said, he knows the marks well because he's fished there for years. And I'm just waiting for him to say, I've got a spare rod for you here. Come down with us. And it's literally, you know, it's not far from my house. A mile or two by car at the most. I used to have a sea fishing set up years ago, like, but I just haven't bothered with it. I'm more a carp angler and fresh water. And I never could get into the sea fishing, like, so I never bothered with it. I ended up selling me sea fishing rod. In fact, I think he gave it to me mate's dad. He was looking for a spare, like, and I had one. I said, yeah, you might as well have it. So I haven't got the gear anymore, like, but my mate's got loads, and I might take my video camera with me. You can watch me freezing on the beach. But what happened to the whiting, mate, and the sea bass, can I ask? Are they filleted in your freezer or swimming back in the ocean? I'd like to know if there's a delay on this live stream as well, like between me asking a question and the answer coming back. Because I've tried to make it no delay where I can, like, but I'm not sure if it's worked. Incidentally, I can only do a live stream for as long as the battery lasts in the camcorder, because that's what I'm using, a Sony camcorder. Two whiting with a keeper size. Did you keep them though, Stephen, or did you put them back? I'd be inclined to put them back myself, mate, but that's just me. I know some people do like a nice fresh fillet of cod now and again, like, and the £3 cod my mate caught the other day certainly looked like it'd do you for the, you know, a couple of good teas. Like, it's certainly I would call it a keeper at £3 in weight. But I don't know. I don't even know what the size charts are like. I've just done so little in the way of sea fishing. Thing is though, you know, if you do a couple of hours either side the high tide, or an hour either side the high tide, like the short sessions in winter, aren't they? And I think that could be a winner for me. You know, I keep my carp sessions are no more than 5 hours in winter at the most, 11 till 4, not even that. And if I go lure fishing, it's generally only 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours is all I can manage before my back's aching. So, you know, an hour or two either side the high tide might not be such a bad idea. And if it keeps me ticking over, like, and gets me the odd fish, then Could be worth doing. You can get quite a few fish around the Wirral area as well. Like my mates had rays, doggies, smooth hound, as some people call them, cod, bass, whiting. They're all quite common around here. So there's a few species to choose from, like to target. Who knows? I'm waiting for you to tell me if you've eaten them, Stephen. Here we go. My Tide Times app on iOS is very good. Yeah, I haven't got an app on my phone. Yes, I'm on an Android phone, Stephen, but I would imagine they've got it for that as well. But I have a whatchamacallit here, like a tide thing in Liverpool. You know, where they take the tide heights in Liverpool. Saved in my favourites. It's been there for years because the River Dee, where I used to go carp fishing, is actually tidal. And Andy will tell you, and Andy Clark, like, because he fishes the Dee as well. Like it's tidal, and you'd have to look at the tide times before you go, and the tide, particularly the tide heights, and yeah, it's in my favourites, like on my computer. So I'd obviously know what time high tide was coming before I left the house, so I probably wouldn't need the app. Interesting though. There's a My Tide Times app. That's good. River carp are quite easy to catch, Stephen. Honestly, I've fished 2 rivers for carp. Well, 3 if you count the 7, but I've not had a carp from the 7 yet. But I do keep hoping that one's going to turn up one day. I'm certainly fishing the stretches that they're known to come out of now and again, but they're very nomadic and difficult to find. But certainly in the case of the Dee, when I fished it, and the Weaver, which are the 2 rivers I've caught carp from, I've had 20s out of both of those rivers. It's easy fishing, mate. It's just a case of picking a spot and baiting the living daylights out of it, and just keep baiting. And the fish move up and down the river. You know, they're quite nomadic. Especially at night time, they tend to move in the night, and that's when you catch them. I just bait the hell out of it and just keep the bait going in every couple of days, like, you know, put like a lot of bait in. I think we were putting 5 kilos a night in the Dee, and in the Weaver I was using 5 kilos to fish with on the Weaver. 5 kilos of hemp and about 1 kilo of boilies over the top, and the food smell off that going downstream is mega. And you knew your runs were coming on the Weaver because you'd see a fish head and shoulder 30 yards downstream, and within 5 minutes of a head and shoulder your rod would be away. They'd be straight on it. It was really good fishing. And same with the Dee. Again, we baited the hell out of it every night, and just kept it going in all the time, and they came for it, like. So it's probably the easy. The Dee and the Weaver are probably the 2 easiest carp waters I've ever fished, but because they're rivers and they're miles and miles long, not many people will have a go at them because they don't know where the fish are. They just think, oh no, you know, they could be 10 miles upstream or anything like that. I could be wasting my time here, and they just need to get over the fear of it and have a go. So if you've got a river that's got known to have carp in your area, then you should crack on, mate, and have a go. Don't let it put you off, because they're quite easily caught. River fish, they're not under pressure like they are in a lake. Do you like me cup, by the way? Liverpool cup in HD. This is my old one. I broke the other one. Remember the all red one that everybody was telling me to smash because they were all Man United fans. they broke it. I broke it, sorry, I dropped it on the floor. So I'm on this one. Right, that's my brew gone. Right, let's have a bit of a roll call. Who's here then? Let's see how many's on. 8 people. Someone say hello, ask a question. Give me something to talk about. I haven't picked a subject this week like I thought last week's, what was it, pay-per-view. Didn't go down so well, so I thought, well, I won't bother picking a subject this week, like I'll let you lot decide. And yeah, ask a question, pick a subject, anything you want, but preferably something to know about. Let's see. I've still got my other PC on here, by the way, so it's I can actually go and have a look at the live stream myself if I want. There we go, live. Dean Power, hiya mate. Lockdown in Birkin Vegas is it's all right, to be honest, Dean. It's not so bad. Like, I mean, I've been working from home now since March. They gave us a laptop, said go home, and I've not been back since. So what, at least 6 months now, and at the end of March 23rd was it? So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's coming up 8 months I've been working from home, in this seat in the office. So I don't get out much. I go for a walk after I finish work at 5 o'clock. Just like 10 minutes around the block on my own, just to, you know, like stretch my legs and make sure my back doesn't hurt and anything like that. And I go shopping once a week to Tesco's. I've got no choice but to do that. I know you can get delivery slots and stuff like that, but when you're asking for like meats, like beef and ham and stuff like that, they don't give you the good stuff. They just give you whatever crap they've got left on the shelf. So I'd rather go and get it myself. So I do my shopping once a week, and Saturday morning, like, I'll do a bit of shopping as well. Anything, you know, like, or any bits I've missed on my main shop. And apart from that, I'm going fishing once a week on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I've been in the house all the time, mate, and it's hard. It is quite hard. It's, I mean, to be honest, I'd have probably been at home most of the time. I've been at home. I would have been at home anyway, but when you can't go out and you want to, it tends to annoy you a little bit, doesn't it? I think it's annoying a lot of people. Like, from what I've seen, not many people are taking any notice of the lockdown anymore. Let's just adjust this camera a little bit. Ooh, that's better. Yeah, not many people are taking any notice anymore. They all just seem to be going about the business and doing whatever they're doing. Like, you're down at Orchard fishing. Nice. Well, that's one way to isolate, isn't it? You keep your distance from everybody down there, mate, or on any lake, really. I know in the summer, when we were allowed out of lockdown and they let us go fishing, I started going twice a week. I was fishing on Wednesday nights instead. I knocked the live streams in the head, didn't I? And I just fished on Wednesday nights. After work, I'd finish work at 5, grab my gear and go and fish till 10 o'clock and then come home. So I did that through the summer, like, until it got so dark that it wasn't worth doing. And yeah, that was all right. But once it got dark and I can only go on Saturdays again, now it's gone quite crap again. So I ain't getting out anywhere near as much as I'd like. It doesn't help either that, you know, like, it's been mild the last couple of days, but with very little rain. And I'm looking out the window thinking, I wish I could have gone today, but I've got to work. Yeah, it is good for the mental health, Dean. Going fishing in and just getting out the house, like it's just there's nothing worse than being stuck in, mate. It's just no good at all. So, but this is the life we've got at the moment. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with these vaccines. I would imagine I'll be in line for one quite quick, but I don't know. I know there's a few people saying, oh, well, they haven't tested it enough and I'm not having it, let someone else be the guinea pig. So I don't quite know what to make of these vaccines that they're going to be rolling out in December. Because it does look like they're coming, because it's not just Pfizer that's got one now, is it? The Americans have got one as well. So I don't know. It's difficult to know what's going to happen and which way things are going to go. But I suppose I should get the vaccine when it's here, like, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see if it's offered to me first and make a decision then. But if everyone else is getting it, then I probably will. But then they're saying there's no side effects, like, so we shall wait and see. But yeah, mental health, I think everybody's just suffered, Dean, in the last few months. Like, it's been hard, hasn't it? Just staying in and not going out and not being able to see people. I've had a particularly bad year. I have lost one of my relatives. On top of that, there was other things like, like funeral arrangements, stuff like that. When we were in lockdown, there was only 6 people at a funeral, and we were all like wearing masks and 2 meters apart from each other. It was awful. One of the worst moments in my life, without a doubt. So it's bad business, mate. Very bad business. But it is what it is. And to be honest, I'd rather stay in than catch it. I know some people are saying, oh, it only comes as a cold and then it goes, like, but if you've got any underlying health conditions, it can kill you. Simple as. So I'm quite happy to stay out of everybody's way, if not for my sake, then for the rest of my family. Because some of them are, they're on the at-risk list and they've actually been told to stay home. So I shall stay home as well and just make the best of it. How's Orchid, mate, anyway? Is it alright? How's it fishing? It's usually pretty good at this time of year, isn't it? Winter fishing on Orchid, usually a few come out. They tend to group up in certain swims, don't they? I went there once, by the way, Orchid. And Marsh gave us a lift round, with his quad bike and his trailer. Just lobbed my gear on his trailer, like, and he gave us a lift. Charged us £1 for it, the robbing kit. But yeah, I think I ended up actually fishing the lagoon because it was so busy. I only went there once and it was so rammed and there was so few swims left. There was virtually, it just looked like there was nothing to choose from, like, so I ended up on the lagoon for a couple of nights, blanked my arse off and never went back. It was just too busy. But that's par for the course, isn't it? Day ticket waters, especially premier ones, you pays your money and you take your chance, I suppose, but I don't pay no more. Quite happy on the club waters. Well, yeah, how's it fishing, mate, anyway? Is it alright? Have you caught anything? 9 viewers. Half an hour. Yeah, I think this software needs a little bit of work. Anyway, I can add all kinds of stuff off the hard drive of my computer. So let's see what we can add. Pictures, video clips. I can put all sorts on. So I shall show you the last fish I had, which was not last Saturday but the Saturday before. Oh. I'm going to have to resize it. It's coming. If I manage to get myself organised, by the way, I might be able to do this in advance. You know, like get some pictures for you in advance. A bit like a slideshow or something like that. Yeah. First fish for a while though, that one. I've got to say it's been quite difficult fishing the last few months. Luke Wicks, hiya mate, how are you, Luke? You're alright? Oh. My stream's gone poor. YouTube is not receiving as much information. Well, hopefully YouTube's receiving something, and if not, it'll buffer up and give it to you afterwards anyway. Hopefully it won't conk out, but we'll see. It's still ticking away anyway. I can see it's still ticking, and everything looks all right. Does it, Andy? Right, okay, thank you. Right. I'm going to go back to that scene then, Andy, and I'll see if I can get my voice back on. So I'll go. Let's transition it back. How's that, Andy? Is that all right? I can see it. Let's transition it now. Okay. Right, I've gone back to the picture, Andy, and you should be able to hear me this time. Hopefully. How are we doing, mate? Can you hear me? Give us a yes if you can. Anyway, that's the low double I've had. Yeah, it's working now. Thanks, Gary. It's just a case of when you switch scenes, every time you switch, it's got to have the microphone in there as well. No voice. Still no voice. That should be okay, Andy. You should be hearing me there. Yeah, you can hear me. I can hear you. Oh, it's getting confusing, this. So you can see me with the picture in now, I take it. It's good now, right? Okay. So if I now transition back to me, when the picture's on, you could still hear me talking. Yeah, I can see why it cut off, like, but it's just a case of getting used to the streaming software, and I need to be aware of these things, like, before I put any pictures on. I can make the microphone work over the top of the picture, and but it just takes a little bit of tweaking, and really I need to get the tweaks done before I go live, so I don't have to mess about with it then, do I? But I must admit, I quite like the software, like, it's quite flexible, and yeah, happy days. Let's just transition that back again. So you can still actually hear me, even though it's a picture of me on the screen. That's, well, you should be able to hear me anyway. Hopefully. That's a cue for someone to say, yeah, we can hear you. Well, it seems to be all right anyway. All good. Thanks, Andy. I'll transition it back then. Pics there and I can hear you. Yeah, it's just it's got all different sources of videos, and you can put pictures in and slideshows and Christ knows what else, videos from different places, and it's just a case of when you make a scene and you put a picture on it, you've also got to add the audio as well. And I hadn't added the audio, that's why it cut me off when I switched scenes. But yeah, that's one to beware of, Andy. Thanks for that. Ian McHale, good to see you, mate. I hope you're liking the HD and the microphone. It's hopefully it'll be a lot better quality now, and like I said, I can add pictures in and stuff like that. Hopefully it'll be alright. So depending on what we're talking about, like, I can raid the hard drive of my PC. There must be, I don't know, 7, 8, 9,000 pictures on my hard drive, all, like, you know, related to carp fishing. Not just fish I've caught, like, but, you know, like scenic shots and pictures of rigs and maps of lakes and all kinds of stuff. There's a absolute treasure trove on my hard drive of information that never sees the light of day, except for me when I want to refer to it, you know, like just knowledge you've built up over the years. There's an absolute pile of stuff in there. The maps of lakes are pretty good, got loads of them, different lakes. I've even got pictures of some of them empty with no water in. So yeah, there's a pile of stuff that I can use in future live streams, like, so hopefully be able to make them a bit more interesting, but we shall see. Peter Hodgkinson, evening Peter, nice to see you, mate. I hope you're liking the HD and the new microphone. It's all good. Yeah, Ian, I think it is, yeah, somewhere between Helsby and Chester, thereabouts. I don't know. Not allowed to say, mate. I know if I make a video about the water, they've got to turn the comments off. So say no more. That's why I don't make videos on there anymore. A few of my videos have been filmed on that lake. Maple peas, chickpeas, pigeon conditioner. Quite a few of the particle videos were filmed on there, and I don't film there anymore because of the rules they've brought out around like turning comments off and not giving away the location and stuff like that. I just thought, what the hell, might as well just film on someone else's waters instead. So I won't be filming on there anymore, or not much anyway. The odd YouTube shorts from underneath my umbrella, and that's it. But yeah, you know roughly where it is, mate. How you doing, Peter? Anyway, you all right? Oh, my stream's just bounced back into excellent health, so hopefully you're not getting. No, I can't say, Peter. You know the rules, mate. Publicity rules. You don't ask questions like that. Not allowed to say. Yeah, you know the answer anyway. You don't need to ask that question. But yeah, that publicity rule they brought in. I mean, it wasn't my fault they brought it in. I wasn't the one who's bringing attention to places. You know, I've always kept quiet about where the waters are and never told anyone. And even when they've asked, to just say, look, sorry mate, can't tell you. But I wasn't the one who brought it on top and got this stupid rule in. But unfortunately, now it's here. I have to abide by it. Yeah, that's right, mate. It's also got in a couple of times. I think I've fished it in for about 4 years, and in that time an otter's got in twice, and both times some idiot had left the gate open. Ridiculous. So it munched its way through quite a few fish the first time it got in, and the second time it got about 6 or 7. Or at least 6 or 7. Well, that was how many carcasses we found anyway. But it's been restocked since. Like, still got some nice fish in, and I've got to say, it's a lifesaver for me, that water now, because I'm kind of stuck for somewhere to fish at the moment. I've got to stay local to my house, because of family problems I've got, like. So I can't go too far, and the normal waters that I would fish are kind of off limits at the moment. So it's the closest water to my house, so that I've been fishing it now all year, and I've got to say it's been a bit of a lifesaver for me, just being able to go there. I know you can't even mention the club, I don't think, Peter. Not that I know of anyway. As far as I know, you don't mention anything. You're not allowed to give away the location of the lake or the name of it, or have comments going so that people can guess it, or anything like that. It's all gone. So you don't name the club. You don't name the water or show enough of it so that people can guess. Basically, I do my filming on someone else's waters now, with which have no rules around filming and stuff like that. And when I say no rules, I mean I can film what I want. I can take a drone with me and film with me Mavic if I want to. Not that I do much of that. I tend to save that for the canal. I think I do more aerial photography when I'm on the canal than on a lake. But yeah, I'm intending on filming somewhere else on another club's waters. Now, it is what it is. At least I still have somewhere to go with a bit of peace and quiet, like. But yeah, I wish it hadn't come to that. I was kind of hoping they'd leave the rules as they are. I mean, they made them because social media was making a mockery of the publicity rules anyway. So, you know. Yeah, I've seen all the Facebook stuff, Peter. It's not just on their Facebook group, though, mate. It's everywhere else. There's stacks of stuff all over, like Instagram and sites like that. If you've ever been on Instagram, there are stacks and stacks of fish from their waters, and nobody bats an eyelid. You know, they're hard on YouTube, but when it comes to Instagram and things like that, everything's just left alone. You know, people just pour up what they want, and I don't understand it. You know, you can't pick on one side of social media and not the other. Well, it seems you can if you're them, like, but it is what it is, I suppose. Anyway, it's I've got other places I can go and film, so I'm not too worried, to be honest. I can just crack on with what I want to do when I want to do it. I'm not making that many videos at the moment anyway, to be honest. I've struggled with them all year. The ones I have done haven't been great, and I've not spent enough time on them or had the time to do them even. So I need to get my arse into gear as regarding making the films, like for my other channel. But I think the next one's going to be a lure fishing video, to be honest. It's the carp fishing for me is coming to an end. Like, it's getting towards mid end of November now. I'll probably go on Saturday one last time, and then after that I'll probably get the lure rod out and get back on the canal. I've got a video I need to finish for lure fishing on the canal about watercraft and stuff like that. Loads of people have asked me, well, where do you go to find the perch? And you know, I've been fishing, I've done 3 or 4 sessions and I've had nothing. And you know, things like that are part of the course. So I thought we'd take a look at the canal and do a bit of a watercraft and see if we can get a few ideas into people's heads about where to look, rather than just give them the spots. I don't really want to just give people me spots where to go. I'd rather they worked at it themselves. Like, that's the whole idea of going fishing in the first place, isn't it? I have to work to find mine. And I want to try and put in a video how I do that, rather than, you know, here's a good spot, go there. I don't really want to do that. Makes it too easy for people. And it shouldn't be easy. That's the way it is. Yeah. Right, who's here? Let's have a look how many's on. I've got to move the screen to do this. Let's have a look. 11. Right, okay. 11 people on the stream. Jolly good. Yeah, it's not that popular, this channel, yet. I didn't want to put my live streams on the Mark Carp channel, my main one. They'd probably get a lot more people on there, because there's like 5,700 and something subscribers on there now, and there's only like 190 odd on here at the moment. And to be honest, a third of them came in the last 2 weeks, just since I've opened this channel and started using it again. So there's a lot of people who haven't found a way here yet. We seem to have got lost, a lot of the old guard, but I'm sure it'll get better as time goes on. Yeah, is anyone out this weekend, by the way? Is anybody going fishing? Yeah, just going back to Stephen a bit there in the sea fishing, you said your brother-in-law kept 2 and gave them to his mum. Right, okay, fair enough, mate. If I go fishing with me mate who's promised to take me, I will put them back, unless he wants them for anything. I think I just released them. I don't eat fish, apart from tin tuna is the only one I eat, so that's they're not fish I'll be keeping, that's for sure. But hey ho, sea fishing video maybe. Nah, I don't think so. Maybe a couple of short YouTube shorts, you know, like the less than 1 minute videos that YouTube are promoting these days, because they're trying to be TikTok. They're trying to take traffic and users off TikTok, because TikTok's grown so big. So they're doing these YouTube shorts now. And I've got to say, they're a fast way to grow a channel. Although it's only got 190 subscribers, this channel gets more impressions than my other one, my main one with 5,000 subscribers. It's mad how that can happen. I should really put them on my Carp channel, like, but I don't want them mixed in with my proper content. You know, the longer videos, because they have a tendency, because they're less than a minute long, they have a tendency of not gaining a lot of watch time. So I don't want them on there, which is why I'm here. But it is what it is. Right, so no one's going fishing this weekend then? No one at all. I think I might be the only one then. I know one thing, I usually have a break around about this time of year. Sometimes I don't bother going for a few weeks. I'm not having any break at all while we're on lockdown. If I'm stuck in the house all day, every day, then come Saturday I'm going to go out and go fishing. I'll force myself to go if I have to, even if I don't want to, just to get a bit of fresh air, because I don't want to be stuck in all the time. So I'm not going to take a break this winter. I'm going to fish right through, whether it's, you know, from now on lure fishing, or I might go back to the carp when it's get to the end of December, something like that. I will continue to fish right through. I'd strongly advise everybody else to do the same, to be honest. I mean, I know it's getting to that time of year when people hang the rods up and don't bother coming out anymore, but for your own sanity and mental health, I think you're probably better off if you just carry on going. One day next week on the Dane. Oh, have you been on there a lot, Peter? How are you finding it these days? I've been told the barbel fishing has been absolutely devastated by the otters, and there's very little else doing on there nowadays. You know, the odd chub and the odd grayling and stuff like that, but I've heard the barbel fishing's been decimated, I think was the word that was used. So Ian, back on Broom's Cross for 2 nights. That £37 has got your name on it. Good luck, mate. I hope you get it. I really sincerely mean that. It'd be nice to see you catch a fish like that. 37. Hell of a fish for the Merseyside area, that is. I mean, it must be the Merseyside record. I don't know of any fish in the Merseyside area that are bigger than that. In fact, there's very few 30s at all. Only maybe 1 or 2, handful at the most, but certainly 37's a monster of a fish. Is there anything bigger than that in Merseyside, do you think? Because I don't. Any word on it being sold as well, Ian? Have they found a buyer for it yet? Brooms Cross. No, yes. I'm beginning to think there's a delay on this. I'll have to try and work out how long it is. £10/30 at the minute. Yeah, but that's in Brooms Cross, isn't it? 10:30's in Brooms Cross. Do you think there's anything in the Merseyside area, Ian, local to us, that comes close to 37? I believe one of the fish in Whalley Park went scraper 30 once. I don't even know if it's still alive, like, but I seem to recall someone caught it at £30 in ounces. I know there's at least 130 in the Wirral. I'm not sure about anywhere else though. I can't think of any. First time for a year I go and have a day's stick float fishing in memory of me mate, once a year. Nice touch that, Peter. Heart attack a few years ago. Yeah, that's a nice touch that, Peter. You go and have a good day's stick float fishing. There are still some good areas around on the Dane, isn't there? I know Danny seems to find them quite well. If you've seen any of his videos, like he manages to catch a few decent chub on the Dane, and it's still one of his favourite rivers. So they are around, but I believe the stretches that we own, you know, out in the sticks, have been devastated. I'm sure you'll have a good day, mate. There's plenty of dace in there, isn't there? And roach, chub, grayling, trout. It's not like he's short of other fish to catch. Like, it's just it just seems to be the barbel that have gone. I can't get used to looking at the screen and looking at the live chat. Got that in different places now. Whereas before I just got to look at the camera and read the screen. Now I've got to go like this all the time. Yeah, they are. I don't know whose club waters they are that he's fishing, Peter, but they're I can guess. I can guess whose club waters they are, but they're certainly not ours. But yeah, he's got a few nice little decent swims there tucked away, hasn't he? Where there's some nice deep water for running a stick float, and he certainly does all right on them, and I'm sure you will too. Just a case of finding a decent swim in it. And if you'd have a few trots down and nothing's there, you can always move on and go somewhere else. Most people I know fish the Dane, they rove. They'll take, you know, like a £1.25 test curve rod for the chub, a quiver tip rod, and they'll hop down the river, decent looking pegs, and give it half an hour in each one, with a bit of cheese paste or something like that. And you know, occasionally they'll come across a fish, then they'll get a few bites. But I'll be honest, you don't catch many fish in a day. Like, you know, if you come home with 2 or 3 fish, you've done quite well. But that's the nature of the Dane these days, isn't it? I remember that years ago we used to have a ghostie called Casper. Used to get seen regularly in some of the stretches of the Dane. It was with other fish as well. Like there was a few carp in there, shoulder carp, but they're long gone. You never hear of them now. You never see them. And the word is like the otters had them, which would not surprise me at all. Very sad. Right, where are we? Where's the time? 1:01. Right, my hour's up, guys. So I'm going to call it a day. It's I keep the live streams to an hour these days, like, and unless they get as popular as they used to, I'll probably keep them to the hour. I'll call it a day. I've made a few notes for this OBS streaming software that I need to look at, and yeah, I shall do a bit of digging and learn a bit more about it, like, and hopefully make the future videos a little bit better. We shall see. But I'm hoping you think it was a success. Can I just ask you all before you go, which do you prefer, this or the old setup with the webcam? Which would you say is best? Just a bit of a straw poll. Cheers, Peter. Right, okay. Stephen, this one's better, I would say. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Ian, you like this one? Okay. Well, I'll stick with it then. To be honest, the screen used to flicker all the time, didn't it? You know, if it moved, I could go like that and the screen would go do 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 do. It's like it was strobing on the webcam because the camera was rubbish. So if you like this one, I'll stick with it. It's quite complicated to use by the look of it, but I'll get round that. I'll work out how to not chop the mic off and stuff like that, and I'll try and add some bells and whistles in and things like that for next time. So I shall stick with it if that's the case. The new live stream wins by 2-0, 2 votes to 0. Anyone else wants to put a comment on this live stream and whether you like it better than the webcam, just use the comments below once it's rendered and you can watch it back and stuff like that. There'll be comments added below, so just vote on there. Right, cheers guys. I shall end this live stream now. I'll say take care of yourselves and I'll see you all next Wednesday. Thumbs up. I'll end the stream now. Take it easy, guys.